Hello guys, my name is Balkrishna Srivastav and welcome to Code with BK. So in this video, we write a Java program to print the first n factorials given an integer n greater than or equal to 1. So before we begin, it is a request to please subscribe to my channel because out of 100 views, only 1 or 2 are subscribed and a subscription is very important. So please do subscribe to my channel. So let's begin. So we have to print the first n factorials and we are given an integer n greater than or equal to 1. So let's look at what is a factorial of an integer. Factorial of n defined as n factorial equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 till 3 to 1. That is, to find n factorial, you have to multiply all integers from 1 to n. That product is equal to n factorial. Okay, and factorials are defined for n greater than or equal to 0. So 0 factorial by definition is 1. Alright, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 1 into 2, 3 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3, 4 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, 5 factorial is 1 into 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, and so on. Alright, so looking at these, we can define a relation something like n factorial equal to n into n minus 1 factorial. Okay, so in our examples, if n equal to 5, we need to print the first 5 factorials. So we print 0 factorial, 1 factorial, 2 factorial, 3 factorial, and 4 factorial. Similarly, for n equal to 7, first 5, then 6 factorial and 7 factorial. Okay, so this is a problem statement that we are given an integer n and we have to print the first n factorials. Okay, so I have taken two helper methods, each of which gives me the n factorial given the integer n. Okay, so this method will give me n factorial using recursion and this method will give me n factorial using iteration. And I have already posted detailed videos for each of these functions explaining how they exactly work. I will add the link of the videos in the description. Okay, so I'm going to use these functions to find the first n factorials. So I'll say static void first n factorials, pass the value of int n. For given integer n, I print the first n factorials and factorial starts from 0. So I say for int I equal to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. I say sys out. Okay, nth factorial will be I factorial in this case. Okay, so I can use either of these. I use factorial r first. Okay, gives me the factorial for this given value of I using recursion, and then I have a message as well, first plus n plus factorials r. Call this method in the main with this given value of n. So this is going to print the first 10 factorials. So let me run this. So you see I get first 10 factorials from 0 factorial to 9 factorial. Okay, because I runs from 0 to less than 10. Okay, I can use factorial I as well in place of factorial r because this will also give me n factorial for the given value of n, and we are passing values of I from 0 to less than n. Okay, let me run this. Okay, alright, same output, but using a for loop and then using these two as helper methods as either helper method is not the right approach here, because this method calculates the same factorials again and again because it is using recursion, and this function also calculates the same factorials, same values again and again because we are calling this factorial I again and again. Okay, alright, we can use this relation and use one single for loop. Currently we are using a nested for because this is a for and this function has its own for loop. Okay, so what I can do is I can write static void factorials 2. Okay, make this 1. My 0 factorial starts from 1, so I copy 1 here. Okay, and using this relation I know to find the next factorial I multiply n with previous factorial. I am starting with my previous factorial 1 here, and if I is not equal to 0, I am going to multiply my factorial with the next value of n, which is I. Okay, to calculate the next factorial, which is the next value of I. Okay, and then print factorial directly, no need to call any helper method. Alright, so this will also give us the same output for the first n factorials, and I'll call first n factorials 2 for given value of n. So I should get the first n factorial if I get it this way. Alright, okay, we are using one single for loop here, and in this case we were using two for loops. So this is much faster than this. Okay, so this is a better approach than this one. Okay, let me change this to 20. Okay, so you can see 10 factorial, 11 factorial, 12 factorial, 13. You see we have a negative value here because these factorials are very large values an int type is not enough to store these values. 10 factorial is okay, 11 factorial is okay, 12 factorial is okay, since 13 onwards, okay, because you need at least 2 zeros at the end. Since 13 factorial onwards, int type is not able to hold the correct factorial values. Alright, so we can use long instead. So I'll say instead I make the factorials 3. Instead of int I make this long. Instead of storing my factorial into int, I'm storing into a long type now. Alright, so let me run factorials 2 and both factorials 3. And I'll add a change in line. So I'll be calling factorials 2 first, then factorials 3. So print the first n factorials using the int type, print the first n factorials using the long type. Let me run this. So this output is using int type, so you have correct factorials till 12 only. Since 13 onwards, you don't have the correct values. In this case, we have the correct 12 factorial, 13 factorial is correct as well, 14 is correct as well. Till 19 factorial, we have correct values. Okay, let me further increment this. Okay, so for int, we lose track after 12. For long, we have correct values till 20 factorial. After that, even long gives up. Okay, so for factorials greater than or equal to 21, long cannot hold these. So if you want very large factorials to be stored, we can use BigInteger from java.math class. Okay, so instead of using factorial as a long type, we create a BigInteger. Alright, and since it's a non-primitive type, we create an object. We pass the initial value, which is 1, into the constructor, and the value to which you are initializing this variable, you have to pass it as a string, because this is not allowed in BigInteger. Alright, whatever integer you want to initialize this factorial to, this variable of BigInteger type to, you have to pass it as a string. Okay, then instead of this, we use the multiply method. So I want to multiply factorial with the next value of I, so I say factorial dot multiply. So I can multiply a big integer by another big integer. Okay, so I make a big integer variable that stores the value I. Okay, so I pass I as a string. Okay, I have to create a new big integer that is initialized to the variable I. So I pass I as a string. Okay, adding I integer to a blank string. Alright, and this is factorials 4. So let me call factorials 3 and 4. Okay, I'm commenting out 2. Okay, we get two outputs. Find factorials 3, prints factorial stored in long type. Find factorials 4, print factorial stored in big integer type. Let me run this. So these are the first 30 factorial using long type, and you can see till 20 the values are correct. Okay, and then you have first 30 factorial using the big integer type, and they are all the way correct. Okay, because big integer can store very large integer values. If I change this to 40, okay, right, so long gives up after 20, big integer you get all the correct values. So I'll comment out this long output again, and I can print till 50 as well. I'll say first 50 factorials. Alright, and there is a limit obviously to which you can find the factorial, and you have to tell me what is the limit of big integer till which it can hold a large factorial value. Alright, okay, so you should have some idea of the limit to which you need to find the factorials. If you have to find the first 10 factorials, you can use int type. First 20 you can use long type, and for beyond that you have to use big integer type. Okay, so this was the solution to this problem, and I hope this was helpful. So if you found this helpful, please subscribe to my channel. And if there was something that you did not like about this video, please just don't press the dislike button. Please also let me know in the comments what was it that you did not like about this video, so that I can improve upon my further videos. And you can also let me know in the comments if there is a question you want me to solve, or if there is a concept you want to discuss. Thank you.